going on, guys? Josh from Vapes for Dummies here, and today we're going to be doing a little introduction video to cloud chasing. So let's just hop right into it. There's quite a lot that goes into cloud chasing, everything from the mod you use, to the juice you use, to the batteries. The atomizers you use plays a big part in it. The way you build your coils for your atomizers, the way you wick your coils for your atomizers. There's a breathing technique that needs to be learned, a certain body posture for when you release your cloud, and yeah, that's it. Alright guys, let's hop right into talking about the mods. What I really suggest for you cloud chasing is a mech mod, similar to this one. This is a single 18652 mod with an RDA on top. You can also get 2 battery devices. They make 2 battery tubes. With a 2 battery device, you're going to get far more power. I mean, just you're getting twice the battery strength. So, yep. Okay. Now, once you get your mods all situated, you're going to want to think about what kind of atomizer you want to use. When it comes to cloud chasing, you really want a rebuildable atomizer. This is an RDA, rebuildable dripping atomizer, so instead of having a tank, you just take your juice and you drip it right down into the coils and the cotton that's there to help wick it up. So that's what it looks like. This coil build that I have in here right now is reading out at about a 0.2 ohms. It's a little bit higher than I usually like to go, but I could only get Canthal wire at the local vape shop, and I like to use nichrome. It's all good, it works just as good, it's just higher ohms reading. Yeah. Alright guys, so when it comes to using a rebuildable atomizer, you're going to have to start building your own coils or buying the pre-builts, but you have to be very, very careful when you are using these rebuildables because you have to know Ohm's law. There's a handy calculator that you can get for free on the App Store or Google Play. It's called Ohm's Law Calculator. There's a couple different ones. They all work the same. They use the same math. What they do is you input how many, like there's 3 or 4 different things that you put in. You have to put in the ohms of your coil build that you're reading out, and you also have to put in your fully charged batteries, which in most cases reads out to 4.2 volts. So with a single battery device, you would put in 4.2 volts, and however many ohms you're reading, say 0.2 or 0.19, and then it'll tell you how many amps you're going to be pulling off your battery. You have to be very, very careful not to pull too many amps off your battery, otherwise you're going to vent, and that's a headache and a half. So when it comes to battery safety, one thing you have to be very careful about is knowing your batteries. These batteries I got at the local vape shop, they're Diamonds. They say 40 amps, but with a little research online I came to realize that they only truly push 20 amps, which is a very dangerous mislabel, because if somebody were to assume that this is 40 amps, then they very well could vent themselves on a low build. So you have to be very careful about that. Some framed, staple, staggered alien shit. A good battery for cloud chasing is anywhere starting at 30 amps. 35 and 40 would obviously be much better, but 30 is a good place to start. With the pulse ratings on these batteries, you want to make sure they have at least 60, because when you come down to using under 0.1 ohms, it's going to be pulling a lot of juice from your batteries. Like it's going to be pulling a lot of amperage, so you have to be very, very careful, because you do not want to be like one of those guys on the news that gets blown up and blames vaping. I mean, that's just stupid. Yep. Alright guys, let's move on to juice. When you're doing cloud chasing, you really want to get max VG juice, because the more VG your juice has, the thicker, the fluffier the clouds are going to be that you produce. When you get down into the lower ranges like 60-40, 50-50, like the juice I have in here, it's a lot thinner, you get more of a throat hit. It's not quite so good for the big clouds. So you really want to make sure you're getting max VG, or at least 80-20. At least. That's just a rule of thumb. Alright guys, let's move on to airflow. When you're building your coils, you're gonna have a variance in ohms depending on the build. So that's why they make these with adjustable airflows, much like this. You can see this one goes from wide open on both sides all the way down to not very open at all. With the build I have in here, I like to run it at about half. It's just how it works out best for cloud production. So, the lower your ohms are, the more airflow you're going to want to keep that cotton from burning, because it's going to ramp up really fast and you have potential to burn your cotton if you don't have enough air moving around in there. But you also don't want it too much to where you get an airy cloud. You want that nice, thick, dense vapor. Because these people that are going out to these cloud chasing competitions, you can't see through their clouds. This is big, thick, fluffy vape. So, you have to find that sweet spot. Alright guys, well, I hope you all have a wonderful evening. Alright guys, well that's the end of the video. I hope you all learned yourself something new. I hope you all enjoyed yourself while you were over here. I sure enjoyed myself making this video. And yeah, keep on not blowing smoke. And remember, don't drip and drive. Nobody's life is worth that. Don't drip and drive. Don't drip and drive. Nobody's life is worth that.